rise and shine. Pour yourself a cup of coffee and tune in to Good Morning Aurora. News, weather, and really cool interviews. Monday through Friday from 8 to 9 a.m.
It's like all of my journals are in Moleskine notebooks, and they all have to be black, hardcover, the exact same size, and they cannot be like off-brand books. No. They have to be the real ones. And I have shifted from the lines to the dots, but I have one journal from the past like 6 years that is not that, and every time I look at it on the shelf, I have like a little, like it's
Word up.
Good morning, Aurora.
Word up, yeah.
I'm telling you, there's a lot of symmetry on my bookshelf. It's also color court, like it's my bookshelf is arranged by rainbow colors.
Well, it should be.
Of the spine. It just looks more harmonious.
Yeah.
Are we going to do the full, all three of them? We have to say it 3 times, or it's like calling Biggie Smalls another.
Yes, good morning, Aurora. Good morning, Aurora.
Good morning, Aurora.
All right, good to see you guys. The time is now 8:02 a.m. and you are listening to and watching Jenettesplaining. Good morning, Dan. He's here. Good morning, sir. Yeah. Jenettesplaining on the second largest city's first daily news podcast. All of the news, headlines, and updates that you need for your weekend.
And, some other stuff that you don't really need at all, but we're going to give it to you anyway.
X going to give it to you. We're going to give it to you. X going to give it to you. All right.
I know that one.
So first of all, it's First Friday. So happy First Friday.
It's First Friday. And it's going to be huge. And probably we hopefully won't all get coronavirus and die because we're all going to wear masks inside.
We hope not. No, not the vast majority part. We hope not to get corona.
Yeah, we're all gonna wear our masks indoors when we're at First Fridays tonight, right, guys? We've all agreed on this. Yeah, okay, all right.
Mark Hogan's here. Good morning, Mark.
I can't see any of you on the other side of the camera / behind the interwebs. But
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
But yes. So the new rule is if you're indoors in public, you should be wearing a mask, especially if you are anywhere near me. Put your mask on.
Yeah, it's just been mandated, as you guys know. We talked about yesterday that masks are required for all indoor spaces, effective immediately. And we have data. The trend is so new cases in the state are averaging 2,000 a day. At our peak, it was about 12,000, but the trend is clearly upward. We have a link, an article for you guys to check out. Only half of King County is fully vaccinated.
Yeah, so I want you guys to think about this, right? When you walk into the grocery store, knowing that all of the people that are in that grocery store, statistically, only half of them have full vaccination status, which means, and if you walk in there and only a quarter of them are wearing masks, a quarter of the people in the store are wearing masks, that's like a quarter of people running around that store that probably don't have a vaccine and they're just petri dishing it right now. It's just multiplying and mutating and things.
Gremlins.
Right, and so do yourself a favor and wear your mask. And I am just going to take I feel like it's an every week plea to the public. Just be nice.
Well,
put on your mask and just be nice about it.
Well, the good thing about our listeners,
they're amazing,
is that these are not the kind of people. You are not the kind of person who needs to be consistently told to do things that better society and humanity.
You're like, oh.
Right.
Sure. I'd be happy to make you feel a little more comfortable by popping that mask on and being mildly uncomfortable.
That's the Good Morning Aurora listener. Right now, you're sipping your coffee or your tea or your honey oat latte.
That's
and you're like, yeah, choice. I'll do whatever it takes to help my fellow man. The time is now 8:05 a.m. But listen. We do have the link to the article. It's a great article from the New York Times, tracking coronavirus in Illinois. There is a map and case count as well.
Yeah, so if you're like, it's not, I just want everyone to take a look, because I think at this point, we're all just so exhausted. right? And it just feels like it's been going on forever. And people have no, like, unless you're in an emergency room, right, you have no, like, sort of sense of the scale of this thing anymore. And so you can kind of watch, if you visit the New York Times, they still have, like, the best COVID tracker around, and they break it down by state. And if you look at the state of Illinois' COVID tracker, the data doesn't go back that far, and it's really flipping confusing. But basically all you need to know is, like, it's starting to look like the very first, like, that initial first scary little wave. And we want to keep it from looking like it did back in November. So.
Definitely, absolutely.
Let's put your mask on.
So the link to this article is now in the chat for you guys to check out. The time is 8:07.
And there's all kind of data, so you can play with it, and you can look at other states, and you can see how we compare county-wise and all sorts of things.
Dan says, unfortunately, the honor system was not working. That is true, sir. And good morning to Jennifer Ryan Mayton, Aisha Saxon, and Ben Tennant.
Morning, y'all.
Right, word up.
Yeah, and also, okay, so here's the other reason we're putting on face masks, guys. So we're now fighting Delta variant, which is like much more it's very similar to the original virus that first broke out, right? Except that it's much more transmissible, right? Here's the big fear, though, is that, look, there's a lot more letters in the Greek alphabet, let me tell you. Like, you can keep going. We can go all the way to Omega on this thing, guys. And then I think it's probably like hurricanes, where they just stop naming them and just giving them, like, numbers or whatever. But, like, there are other emerging versions of this virus coming out. The new one that they are is not yet it's not yet a strain of concern, but it's a strain of interest. These are, like, technical terms or whatever, or variant of interest. Is this new one called Lambda that is circulating around South America right now. And what makes that Lambda
from Revenge of the Nerds? Lambda.
Sure.
Y'all don't. Okay, never mind.
No.
All right.
I can tell you my whole
you go back to being
alpha,
professional.
beta,
Let me
gamma,
just
delta,
stop.
epsilon, eta. No, you just go through the whole. Did you not have to learn your Greek alphabet backing up?
I did not.
As a proud Phi Mu, we had to learn the whole alphabet, and then also, like, I actually just studied Greek.
Okay. I didn't mean to disrupt your train.
No, that's fine. I was singing, so but. No, so this new variant that's circulating, and look, they're not saying that, like, this one's going to be the next one that's going to come and, like, create a giant wave, but what's concerning about it is it appears that the mutation on this virus is not in the transmissibility so much as it's in this little spike protein that sort of, like, is the thing that, like, allows the virus to, like, invade your cells or whatever. I don't know. I'm not a virologist. However, the spike protein is the thing that the two big vaccines, the Pfizer and the Moderna vaccine, what they work on. And so if that spike protein is changed, it means it's much less likely that the vaccines that we currently have are going to be effective on it. And what that means is that whether it's Lambda or some other variant that comes along, we could eventually be totally back to square one, where it's, like, basically the same as nobody being vaccinated at all.
Right.
And the way that we stop that from happening is basically a race against time. We beat whatever the new variant will be that won't work with the vaccines by getting everybody vaccinated before that has the chance to mutate in the unvaccinated population and explode.
All right. Couple quick pieces of news, local news, get your vaccine.
That was the point of that story. Everybody get your vaccines, and also give a lot of money to the programs across the world that are trying to get vaccines into other countries, because, look, it could emerge there too.
All right. July 2022. So it's a year from now, but you got time. The Aurora Noon Lions will have their 100th birthday Shouts out to them. There's a community banquet tentatively scheduled for the event. The Aurora Noon Lions meet on the first and third Mondays monthly at Luigi's Pizza, so shout out to them. Also, League of Women Voters of the Aurora Area, they have a garage sale fundraiser today and tomorrow, starting from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Located at 2091 Schoolhouse Lane. Funds help support get out the vote activities, including voter registration. For more information, you can call 630-383-9353. That number again is 630-383-9353. The time now is 8:11 a.m. You are listening to Jenettesplaining on Good Morning Aurora, and Ben Tennant has jokes. COVID 8675309. Yeah, it's a good song, man. I like that. Yeah, Ben. Good one. Okay. That's a good song.
No, I know that one. That's I need to make you mine. This is what happens when we do not prepare for the show. You just get 8675309. You just get us singing for an hour.
Why do you tell people we're not prepared? Please stop doing that. Like, I'm always prepared. If you're not, let them know that you are not prepared.
I am.
I am always prepared.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm ready to go.
All right.
I am ready. I'm ready. Tampons for everybody. Is that what we're doing next?
Yeah. So, J.B. Pritzker, Governor Pritzker, was in town, signed some bills. Signed one about guns that we told you guys about yesterday. But he also, interestingly enough, now this was unanimous in the General Assembly.
Well, the follow-up one wasn't.
Okay. All right.
Well, there was two bills. There were bills where like we are all over this, like, you know, if you're a person who menstruates, there's been a bunch of bills out recently for you. But the first one, the one that J.B. Pritzker signed yesterday, is a bill that provides tampons and pads in a whole bunch of places, including state universities and community colleges. So now if you did not plan ahead, pop on in. You just stop in the bathroom. And the great thing, what I loved about
homeless shelters too.
Homeless shelters, right? If they're able to, afford them. Some homeless shelters are literally just mattresses.
Yeah,
on
it does
the floor.
say budget permitting.
Yeah. So some homeless shelters are literally just like pads is just like not pads like menstrual pads, but pads like Public Action to Deliver shelter. That's like a homeless shelter in the area that just kind of bounces around. So they may have that because they, but find them elsewhere.
Right.
So what I loved is the reasoning behind it is just or the justification was like, look, you go into a bathroom and you expect to find toilet paper, right? We all agree collectively that soap, toilet paper, napkins, tissues, seat covers, and all those things will be provided for us in public spaces. Bill sponsor Representative Katie Stewart of Edwardsville said at a news conference, and we don't even think about that until we're in a situation where you go in the bathroom and there's no toilet, right? So like, why would we distinguish toilet paper from like other things that you need for hygiene? I think the answer is because for a long time the people in charge of bathrooms they didn't menstruate.
All right. So it's House Bill 641. Requires state universities and community colleges to stock feminine hygiene products in any restroom in a college building that serves students. That measure passed the House 74-37 and the Senate 42-13, each with mostly Democratic but some Republican support. It takes effect immediately.
Now, here is the one that got unanimous support in the General Assembly, and this I love, is a bill introduced by our own Representative Barbara Hernandez.
Word up.
Yay! Formally asking the federal government to step forward and provide, wait for it, menstrual products and diapers through the SNAP program. So for those of you who are not broke, the SNAP program, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, that is food stamps, right? So this bill, what it would do now that it is passed, it goes, so it's already it's passed. Everyone like supported this in Illinois. What it's now doing is putting pressure on the federal government to say, like, states are allowed to decide whether they would like food stamps to cover the cost of diapers and menstrual products. And I'm pretty sure that there was a reference to this in an Eminem song many years ago.
All right. Greg, hold on real quick. Greg Zilioli, good morning to you, sir. And Dora Sanchez, good morning to you guys as well. The time is 8:16. Tuning in, everybody. We love to see y'all.
Yeah.
All right.
So super glad about that.
Yeah, the link to this, I'm going to put this in the chat for you guys so that you guys can read this as well at your leisure.
Now your damn food stamps buy diapers. That's the lyric.
You know, I got to say, though.
I'm surprised of all that we've decided to sing all the other songs. Okay.
I got to say, it seems to me like almost a no-brainer.
Yeah.
That people should be allowed to purchase feminine hygiene products with SNAP benefits.
And
like,
diapers,
right?
I
don't see
like,
why.
Like, what else, yeah.
You know, who's the people, who is standing in the way of that?
Well, there are folks that stand in the way of people buying other kinds of food with food stamps.
Right.
So, making them just like, only virtuous food stamps, right? So in other states, you see a lot of restrictions on like lobster. You're not allowed to buy birthday cakes. You're not allowed to buy, like all of these specific things. Illinois takes a much more progressive stance when it comes to stamps.
Dora says, girl power. That is right, Dora.
I know.
That is right.
Do you know what's great? When we have enough women in the room in leadership positions, right, where they can say things like, hey, what if we did this thing that benefits literally half of humanity?
Right.
Who would have thought?
All right.
Representative democracy.
So it's 8:18 and it is a Friday. So we got a couple more good things to talk about. Well, actually, we got a lot more good things to talk about.
We got things.
But next, let's go to the Paramount. Now, the Paramount and their vaccine mandate. We talked about this the other day. Oh, wait. Actually, you know what? That's what I was going to ask you.
What were you going to ask me?
Did you hear about the inmate who escaped, who was recaptured?
I saw the headline. I usually do myself a favor of not reading those kinds of stories, but do enlighten us all.
Well, he escaped transport from Elgin Jail on the way to King County. They found him in Hanover Park. So a quick shout out to law enforcement. Good job, y'all. Good job.
For the good job they done in catching him?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like if you escape, you get a free pass.
All right.
Day pass.
Now let's go to Paramount and the vaccine. So yeah, you cannot view anything at Paramount unless you are vaccinated. The COVID-19 commitment to safety and protocol. August 18th, opening of the Broadway Spectacular Kinky Boots will mark the first in-person indoor show at the Paramount in the last 524 days. It will be among the first productions in the Chicago area since Live Theater was shut down. Yeah.
Look, here, I just want to give a shout out to the Paramount for, enforcing the rules. Right, because the thing about this is that there's no way to like socially distance yourself in that pit, right? Like those seats are like I am not a large person and I feel a little like cramped in those seats. Like I mean, you see me like I can, I bend up and just
right.
But you're like packed in, especially for a real big show, and like the folks on stage are working hard, right? Like they're the only ones who really can distance, right? And who could bubble up if they needed to, and all of that. But like, I just don't like putting that many people together. It's just a pragmatics thing. That many people in a room where like I'm already annoyed when I'm at the theater and someone's coughing.
Yeah.
Now if I'm in the room and someone's coughing and I don't know everybody's vaccination status, I'm not annoyed. I'm like flipping out, right?
Well, I like it because like they're obviously showing that health and safety is more important than
paramount?
money. Yeah. And it's more important than money. Like instead of just taking your dollars, like, we need to protect the staff, the entertainers, the performers, all that.
Yeah, have you been in one of those spaces yet in public where someone's like too close and coughing by you? Has that happened to you yet? Have you had that moment?
No, I don't think so. I don't know if I have.
Because let me tell you, two weeks ago, something like that, I'm up in Geneva. Was just getting breakfast, but then like the art fair was going on, and I'm like, okay, let's there, right? I was in there and hop into Graham's 318, which is fully renovated. Their little coffee shop, right, and everything there. Which
that's the name of it.
Graham's 318, yeah. So, you know, Graham's the ice cream spot. There's also Graham's 318, which is kind of like their secondary location that does just,
does anybody
like,
know anything about what we're talking about? Put that in the chat.
Geneva. You don't know? You've never been to Graham's?
Never even heard of it.
I mean, good for you for never leaving Aurora, though.
How do I know?
Anywho, on 3rd Street, I'm in this cafe and I'm waiting in line, and the line is like, they have the line snaking, and there's no way to like they should have had people waiting outside, and they didn't. There's no way to like not be next to the person who's like right next to you, and then the person up from is right next to you in line. You're like,
right.
And this woman comes in behind me, and I'm making chit chatter, whatever, because she thinks she's in the wrong place because they renovated. And then she starts coughing. And then I'm like, okay, all right, you know, some people, like, one cough is probably not death. It's probably just like, I don't know, I had something in my throat. Keeps. And I'm standing there, and I didn't have my mask on because it was before go, right? But I'm just like, leave?
Wow.
Do I stay? And the line was moving slow, and it's I want my iced coffee, hot outside, move forward, and she's still coughing, and I'm like, I gotta go. Like, and I bolted out
Alyssa
of there.
Ocon is here, y'all. Good morning, Alyssa. She says, yes, Graham's has great chocolate-covered treats and much more.
They do, yeah, man.
All right, like, Alyssa Ocon she just certified it. All right.
Again, I am not advocating ever leaving Aurora for anything, but if you should find yourself in downtown Geneva, the place I would say that is most worth going to is probably
Alyssa Ocon, cosign. All right, I'll word up. That's awesome.
All Chocolate Kitchen is also basically like chocolate sugar ice cream.
Nice. All right, I gotta check that out. Very cool.
Yeah, I don't hit the boutique stuff. I don't buy boutique stuff. I buy Goodwill stuff. But the chocolate and ice.
All right. So, real quick, couple quick news items before we get back to the next part of the discussion. So, August 29th, Oaxaca in Aurora. This will be at Casa Santa Maria, 314 East Downer Place from 1 to 7 p.m. Mercado Artesanal, Artisan Market. Y'all didn't think I knew Spanish.
I love when you speak Spanish.
Holla.
So good.
All right.
Say the name of the state again.
Oaxaca.
Oaxaca.
Traditional artists and craftsmen all the way from the state of Oaxaca, with the participation of Danza de Pluma, Chicago, Alexandra Salgado, Ballet Folklorico, Quetzalcoatl.
There we go.
Yeah. Shouts out to the sponsors of this as well.
What's amazing about that is that those are words that are not like Spanish words so much as, you know, like native languages. They're way harder.
Right.
They're way harder when they throw those extra X's and Q's and Z's.
All right. Also, First Ward Alderman Emmanuel Lamas. He's having a back-to-school bash, free school supply kits for City of Aurora students. This will be Saturday the 14th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Aurora train station located at 413 Broadway, right around the corner attached to Two Brothers. And then last but not least, don't forget, the Cirque Italia, they're still here until Sunday. Tickets start at $10. Shouts out. It's a water circus. It's really cool. It's cool little date night. Y'all get on a little date night.
No tortured elephants. It's like a cool circus, not like
no animals. Yeah,
not like
none
a tortured
of that.
Animal circus.
Yep, none of that.
That's good. All right, then I fully endorse this.
Date night starting at $10. You can't get a deal like that.
Let me tell you, I once had a first date at a circus, and like a good one, right? It was El Circo Cheapo in the city. Best first date night ever, not least of which because my date was a little, I don't want to say uptight, but when one of the performers, trapeze artists, lost her top as a part of the act, like hanging upside down, it was like you could see, even though it was totally dark, you could blush. It was a good date night. So nice. I endorse the circus for date night.
Very cool.
So long as it is not the tortured elephant kind.
All right, and then last piece of news. CAAN, the Community Advocacy Awareness Network. They're having the Unity Expo for Business Entrepreneurs tonight, 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. next to City Hall, 44 East Downer Street. That's the Water Street thing that goes with, Riverfront Playhouse, all
Water
that.
Street Mall.
Yep.
City Hall.
Make it a family affair. Make it a family affair. There's something for everyone that's going to be there. Back for the best. Together is better. Wow, our lights just cut out in here. Y'all couldn't see that, but that was cool. That was spooky as hell. The time is now 8:27 a.m. and we might have a ghost. But anyway, yeah, so that's the local news.
That's local news.
All right.
What else we got?
Tracy Duran, how you feeling this morning? Tracy Duran, all you guys, good morning. Alyssa, Aisha, everybody. All right, next topic.
Well, I would love to give you more information about the next topic, which is that the Lincoln Station development is moving forward. That's the Del Webb age-restricted seniors in their little carts, the little golf carts, but then it's like bigger than that too. Yeah. That giant development is apparently on the south side of town. I'd love to give you more information about that, but none of the documents are posted to the city's website. So wow. It was approved. Apparently, I went through committee of the whole, and there was an article about it in the Beacon that was, whatever they could fit into the space that goes in the 2 pages that are still the Beacon. We had talked about this development on the show before in our episode on affordable housing and what that really means, right. and redlining and all of these things, right? We talked about, giant lots and not a super affordable development. And I would love to give you so much more information about what the houses are going to be all laid out. But if you go to the City of Aurora's website right now, where all of its documents, all of your be posted, right? And then you click the link and it gives background information. Broken. None of them are up right now.
Wow.
I know. Womp womp. So next week, we'll bring you that next week if they post it again. And then
hopefully that information will be on in a week. But that's how that's what happens in a big city. That's a lot to do. That you gotta get imagery and you gotta make it look good and make it look
I'm not saying
juicy.
I'm not saying that as a bureaucrat, an overworked and underpaid bureaucrat, that I've never forgotten to post a document before. I most certainly have.
I think the thing is, like, people don't expect cities not to have it together.
Yeah, which is really funny.
Then they think it's like corruption. Like, why isn't the link to the water tower here?
Right. So, I want you all to think about how well the organization that you work for operates, right? Like, think about, like, you work for a company, you work for whatever, like, is your boss an idiot? Is that person in accounting just kind of useless? Like, think about, like, the breakdowns in your organization, and then remember that government is exactly the same.
Right.
Only, like, probably even more understaffed because there's no, like, profit motive to, like, bringing more people on who can, like, make money. It's really like, you can just do the work of 5 people, right? Like, yeah. Yep. So God bless the bureaucrats. I am sure they will get all of the documents together so I can tell you all about the Del Webb and the next week.
Hey, if you're just joining us at home, you are listening to and watching Good Morning Aurora, the second largest city's first daily news podcast, y'all. Good morning to you.
I have to say, I get a little thrown off when
well, we got,
hopefully it's real.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, it's been real.
I know, but it doesn't feel. Yeah, you know what's tricky is
Oh, y'all.
when we first started this, I was like, oh, podcast. Yeah, Friday morning, no problem. I can come on and just like talk about stuff. I don't gotta have anything put together, right? And now we're on camera and I'm like, oh, I should probably.
Well, you know, the interesting thing about it.
That's
what
that on a Friday morning, because like Friday, you know, by Friday it's been a week. I'm like barely making it, rolling up into the office, you know, anyway. So like to do something.
Well, all of you guys know, and we appreciate you guys for tuning in. All of you guys know that we've got a lot of things coming and cooking. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. Thank you, because the new camera setup, Anna's Custom Treat, shouts out to you. We appreciate it. A little bit more and something new for your morning news, you know, so holla. So yeah, we got Treadwell Coffee and we got each other. So what's the next type? Well, we talked about the Deadwood, but there's not no.
We talked about how
documents.
we don't have any information about that.
All right.
So are we on?
The time is now 8:32 a.m. Now let's talk about the perch.
Oh,
what
yeah.
is the perch?
Look, I was going to give you, you know, we gave you all of this like downer information earlier about, you know, the coronavirus and everything to each other and like the masks and all of that and everything, just like you. And woo, if you've got kids in school right now and you're in the middle of all that, like, do I have to worry, is my kid going to have to deal with this like again in the fall sort of thing? And you're feeling like the world is just a little bit too much for you right now. I have an answer. That is the Perch in downtown Aurora is offering a 2-week meditation experiment. It begins Monday, and the lovely Amy Jackson, who has been on the show before,
Amy Jackson.
Amy Jackson. Oh, we'll bring her. She is doing a 2-week meditation experiment. Begins Monday. You will spend at least 5 minutes every day meditating to see how this daily quiet time impacts your soul. She is pulls from Christian tradition of soul care, but it's really open to everybody. And it's like really cheap too. I want to say $10. That, and she's doing all of this. You get a daily email, and then there's like a group, like a group to sort of like keep like a private Facebook group to get involved and stuff like that. So check it out. You're just gonna go to theperchplace.com, or if you search The Perch in Aurora, it's really just what your soul needs, right? What my soul needs. So if you want to.
The Perch is located in the Aurora Business
it's in the Aurora
Center.
Business Center, up on the top floor, and thus the Perch, right? Because it's got this lovely view of the river. And if you've never been there, they do workshops and got you certified to be able to teach yoga in addition to all of the soul care stuff that she does. So lots of different strategies for just making a life less centering.
Dan Santis is here. Good morning, Dan. Good to see you, sir. Good to see you. All right. The time is 8:34 a.m. You know, don't they have a weekly class?
They got all kinds of things, man. I usually do the draw because like I never have time to like do I cannot like keep with anything that happens like on a regular basis in my life personally. But I've been to like full like half day like events and stuff like that where you just basically sit and learn how to take care of yourself. Remember how you like be able to take care of yourself, and now the world so much.
Do you feel like that at home?
Do you feel like
Do
that
you
at
feel
home?
like
Do
the
you
world
feel-
is crushing you and your soul and
then-
all of that Jeanette just said?
And then so you get reminded in some way, shape, or form that like, oh yeah, I'm human and I'm allowed to breathe and take time.
Well, if you do, the Perch is for you.
Purchase for you.
All right. So it is the first Friday. What do you guys have planned tonight? What's going on out there in the streets? What's the haps? Jeanette, why don't you tell us where you will be at for First Friday?
Oh, my goodness. All right. Well, so to be perfectly honest, this one snuck up on me. So my first stop is always Society 57, and I think that my plan tonight, they'll be doing cocktails, and I think that my plan tonight might just be to hang out there, drink really fancy cocktails, and work on this trashy romance I've been writing the past couple weeks /
Nice.
6 years.
Nice.
So, and then kind of see where the night takes me. So that's maybe my first stop. But man, there is stuff going on all over the place.
Yep.
So what else have we got here?
Well, in the chat, let us know what you guys have planned for tonight, where you guys are going to be. So Dan says, hope to see you soon. He's back at Ballydor, blown away. You have a podcast you never told. Dan, Dan, we'll do lunch, dog. We'll do lunch. Dan Santos is my man, old school Ballydor right there. Back when I lived downtown, we'll keep that for the undershow. But Dan, I'll be in touch, my brother. See, I can say we'll do lunch. I can say that, man. It feels good. Hell yeah. All right. I'm gonna say
the art and history is probably the place to be for the thing that you've never experienced before, which is the Accelerating Inspiration Art from First exhibit.
Mm-hmm.
So I have sung phrases of Fermilab before, but particularly they have this fascinating collaboration with artists there, because Fermilab is a particle accelerator laboratory, and you'd be like, why would that have anything to do with art? But that whole campus is actually covered in art, and it's art that usually speaks to the elegance of some scientific theories.
Word
universe. Up. Yeah. So so the exhibit at the David L. Pierce Art and History Center, the DLP, is from 6 to 9 tonight, and it's going to include photographer Georgia Schwender, textile artist Lindsay Olson, and sculptor Jim Jenkins, who will have Fermilab related art.
Very cool.
Go to that. That's my pick. If I were don't miss this one, I would say go to that one.
All right. So we got something to talk about, and it qualifies as All right, breaking news. All right, it's that time of year to sign up for the Citizens Police Academy at APD. Ever wonder what goes on behind the scenes at APD? Then join the Citizen Police Academy. The Academy allows you to learn how the police department and our officers function on a daily basis by exploring the wide variety of interactive topics, including the difference between criminal and civil law, drug and gang awareness, use of force, investigations, juvenile law, and other relevant topics. You also engage in practical exercises that cover building searches, crime scene processing, and traffic stops. Damn, y'all search buildings?
All the things.
The Academy is free of charge and open to anyone 21 years or older who lives, works, or owns property in Aurora. The 50th Citizens Police Academy begins September 2nd and runs for 10 consecutive Thursdays from 6 to 9 p.m. At APD headquarters, which is 1200 East Indian Trail Road. Space is limited and always fills up quickly. Thank you, Tracy Duran. Shouts out. All right.
Yeah, I'll put my I'm gonna endorse that. I'm gonna look, regardless of where you sit on the yay law enforcement versus I don't know about law enforcement divide these days. I think I'm always a proponent of actually being really informed what's all involved, right? And I think that this is a good opportunity to up close, some of what goes into policing,
right,
which can really.
All right. So Jennifer says that she's ending the night at the art bar. Let us know what you guys are doing.
Yes.
Shouts out.
It is the return of Art Bar, the living, breathing, in-person Art Bar. So that'll be exciting.
What is art bar?
What is Art Bar? So Art Bar is actually it's a collective of artists who all work together on a variety of projects, and then but the thing that people are most familiar with is every first Friday at the Roundhouse. It's sort of a it's a little more like lowbrow brute art, and not in a bad way, in a like just in a like that kind of style.
Got it.
Right?
And Roundhouse is open again? They're back open?
Apparently. I mean,
well, must
there?
be, yeah.
Yeah, I think it is. I've seen them pop up on my Facebook feed.
See, Roundhouse, you know what? Hold on a second. Let's look. Roundhouse.
Find out. I mean, it's
Roundhouse. I got something to say. This is to the Roundhouse.
Is it add more vegetarian items to your menu?
Is it adding? No. I just got a message for the Roundhouse. You guys got coffee. The coffee's good. Can you open up before 11 a.m.?
Are they 11
not
right now?
No, 11.
No, the coffee shop used to be open beginning at 7 in the morning.
Back
in the before
COVID, yeah.
In the before times.
When I would ride the train to work, yeah. But like
how are you gonna have
our two brothers? Can we open up a little bit early? A little bit early. Okay. Shouts out though, y'all got good coffee. All right. So the time is now 8:42 a.m. McCarty Mills Tap Room, Corinne's Kitchen, DJ and artist Stephanie Wheatley. Shouts out tonight. Norma Peterson tells us your Gams Girl on the Street is at River Edge again tonight. Hopefully, hope to see you there as well. And Hollywood Nights at REP. What's REP?
River Edge Park.
Oh.
Hollywood Nights.
Shit.
Is that it? Well, so it's covering something. What would that one be covering?
Josue, you right, man? Huh?
What would that be covering? Hollywood Nights. Is that what is that? Eagles?
Bee Gees.
Bee Gees? No,
I bet it's the Bee Gees.
No, Bee Gees was last week. I remember. I heard.
No, they weren't.
Last week before. No, I heard.
Couldn't have been the Bee Gees.
Not the actual Bee Gees.
Well, couldn't have.
Hollywood's. Somebody in the chat.
Fever.
Yeah, no, I swear.
We all got to show it. Bob Seeger. Thank you. Snap. All right, thank you very much. Cheryl Brownell, good morning to you as well. Okay.
Wait, I have more Roundhouse news. Hold on, because not only are they open, but guys, I missed this, but you should not miss this next month. Next month. Still Not Friday is back, and that's their comedy, like stand-up comedy thing, and you should. So they had the first one on the 5th. So follow the Roundhouse, because whatever about them not being open at 11 a.m. But have you been to the stand-up comedy there?
Yeah,
it's top notch.
Yes, it's good.
So they back.
I missed it.
I'm so sad that I missed it.
A brother's not knocking it.
And I'm so sad that I missed it. And so now we have to follow them to see when they are going back every week.
Nice. All right, you guys. So I got more news.
We got more news.
We got a couple more news items before we go.
Fabulous.
Big stuff I got to tell you about. So hold on a second here.
What?
Okay, this just came across the desk just last night. Shouts out, though, to, we got to shout the young people and let them know that we appreciate what they do. So, West Aurora High School, they're having their Black Hawk Back to School Bash. Going to be Tuesday, August 17th from 5 to 8:15 p.m. Get involved. Walk the athletic and activity fair. Meet coaches and sponsors to obtain information. Lots of stuff. Open campus. Meet teachers. Food trucks. And I got to say something about food trucks. Look, if
you want anybody to come to anything in the suburbs, you just say there's food trucks.
You know what's crazy about the food trucks, right? Back when I was a young man working these jobs, God.
On construction sites?
When I was working these
factories?
Oh,
is
God.
Is that where we're going with?
I love to see how what used to be called the Roach
Coach, right?
has now been rehabilitated to the food truck. That is crazy to me.
Well,
so when I see these families, they're taking pics by the. I'm just like, yo,
pierogi, and I'm like, and I am here for it. I am here for it because anywhere that I can get like a good pierogi, like just kind of on the street, is to me is magical. But yeah, you are correct. They have had quite the transformation. Someone was like, some hipster at some point was just like, wait, I could do something with this.
Seriously, I mean, it never ceases to amaze me when I see it. Like, wow,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
All right, but real quick. West High School once again, and that is Tuesday, August 17th, 5 to 8:15 p.m. The time is now 8:46 a.m. And actually, Dan, you brought up a good point. The train station is open early, and Jumpin' Java has good coffee with Kitty in there. Shouts out to Kitty. Kitty is a lady. Those who know will know. She's a lady who works at Jumpin' Java. Real nice lady. Been there for years. Ryan Worthy duo at Tavern on Broadway and Koozies as well tonight. Thank you, Mark.
I think what's fascinating is that I like the time that the coffee shops open in a given town. I feel like really says something about the character of the town. Right? In a city where you're like, it's 6 a.m., why can't I not get coffee right now? Is like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, we are a laid-back destination, Aurora, right? Like, you can't be walking around like the Loop or like someplace like some intense sort of, or even like.
See, when I used to work in Chicago, everything was open.
Everything was 5 a.m.
Yeah,
you're like, I can get coffee anywhere.
Get what you need. But
right?
it's like, yo, they were, I just.
But we're like, we'll get there.
Yeah.
8 a.m.
We're privileged.
Fine, right?
First world problems. Society 57, we not open until 9. 9 o'clock, I'm going home. My day is, is over.
I told you, they're open from 11:02 until 11:35 every day, and you just have to, like, plan around.
Dan tells us that they were always in a Chevy pickup with pick 6 was the Roach Coach. Now the food trucks are in ups type step van. Yes,
yeah, they
step
are.
ups.
They're
Yep.
fancy.
Yeah,
fancy thing now.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy, but that's how
Speaking
life
of,
is. Life is full circle like that.
Tonight's food trucks at the intersection of Water and Benton Street, the Water Street Square, are Grumpy Gaucho, Culinary Gangster. Culinary Gangster? I don't know what they make. Home Run Hot Dogs and Lemonade, and Holy Pierogi.
Right.
Which are excellent pierogi. They are not as good as my Christmas pierogi, which are made with the extra ingredient, guys.
Nice.
And bacon grease, don't. But yeah.
Some grease is good. Some grease is good.
Yeah.
All right. So, next piece of news. Let's keep it moving with the news. What else we got? Don't forget, we have a thing called Age Guide. Now, you guys will have noticed yesterday on our Facebook page, I posted Age Guide for you. Age Guide is the largest Midwest expo for seniors. It's going to be virtual this year. It being virtual will allow for a larger audience, potentially all of statewide Illinois. But here is the pertinent information about it. So it's going to be on August 17th and 18th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Attendance is free, but registration is required. If you go underneath this post just yesterday, I posted the link to Age Guide and Senior Living. Please register for that. 2 days of educational sessions, memory cafes, entertainment, exhibitors, and more, all from the comfort of your own home. Once again, this is the Senior Lifestyle Expo. Shouts out. Okay, and don't forget, get ready to get your golf on. Our friends of the Aurora Regional Chamber of Commerce are hosting their Golf Classic on Monday, the 23rd of August. The event will be held at Orchard Valley Golf Course, a beautiful course and location. Promote your brand and network with many business leaders and professionals who will be in attendance. Sponsorships are available. Get to know more about the Aurora Chamber and Orchard Valley by clicking the link on a post I posted 2 days ago. Time is now 8:50 a.m.
Going to the arcade tonight?
What arcade? Oh, Yeti.
The Yeti Station. The Yeti Station opens tonight.
It's their grand opening.
It's their big.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a big thing. You going?
I am not. I have to work. I know. We don't got a womp womp button. We don't got a womp womp button, but
we don't.
Yeah, no, not yet.
You're working.
Yeah.
On a Friday.
I am.
There should be like a law against unless you are serving. In case you must.
If I could make a law where Fridays were off and it was only Monday through Thursday work week,
thank you.
I would hit that in a
right?
moment. What y'all think about that?
Turns out, they've done. There was a recent study released on this because some people want to say about license, because it's just like, what if we just make it a 30-hour work week and see what happens and they get it aggressive. And it's put like several industries, government, everything else, and it turned out like everything's fine.
Word.
Like the world, Iceland still continued to operate as a country. People were more productive. They were happier. They were less. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So it is, again, it's First Friday, but masks are required. So you guys go out there, have some fun tonight.
Play some games at the Yeti.
Bring
your hand sanitizer.
Visit Tavern on Broadway. Visit McCarty Mills Tap Room. Visit Ballydoyle. Check out what's going on and support local.
Your local business.
Now, I want to ask the audience a question here before we go, because it has been, it's a little bit, the discussion's kind of going haywire. Now, I know it's 8:52 a.m., but I'm gonna drop this drop of ink into the water. I'm gonna let it permeate, and we're just gonna have to do it because I look. We all know that there is an apartment building being made on Broadway, Jake's, River Edge, that big, huge structure coming. We told you guys about that.
The parking lot between those two.
$7.6 million in tax incentives or whatever it was from the city. Look, people are describing that as gentrification. Let me tell you something.
We're back.
And no, but here's why we're back on it though.
Let's have this conversation.
No, we're on it. Look, here's why we're back on it. We're back on it because people aren't understanding. Listen, when you build a housing structure or unit, that's not gentrification, that's development. And the idea that, people can't, listen, large swaths of colored people have money now. Gentrification is when people who are living somewhere are forcibly or in legal shenanigans removed from where they live now, taken out, and then restocked with X. It's not gentrification to have development. Development is not gentrification. And the idea that just because it's nice and sparkly and shiny means that coloreds aren't going to be able to live there is ridiculous. Lots of Latino Americans and African Americans have money and they're able to afford apartments. So please, I'm begging you, learn about what you're talking about first before you paint anything happening in the city as gentrification.
So your argument is because this is a new development, right? As opposed to like, we're gonna just move into this block, buy up all these houses, tear them down, and build these this crazy condo or something like that, right? Because you think that this doesn't qualify gentrification.
Absolutely, it does not.
Yeah,
it does. It does not. It does not.
There's also this tipping point, I think, that has to happen too.
Tell us about the tipping point.
Yeah, so look, back in the day, used to be that our neighborhoods were mixed income neighborhoods, all that was pretty standard, right? That you would have super big nice house next to little house or next to a single room occupancy hotel or whatever. It would be all integrated, right? And so to have a really nice condo building next to our neighborhood would not be out of place necessarily. It was a thriving city, has lots of people, lots of different.
Right.
So to to add like a single building, even if those rents are considerably higher than some of the other, and I don't think we've seen the rent price points on these. Yeah.
No, they have not been announced yet.
Yeah. So, and those things adjust like even as the construction process, right?
Right.
So to say like to automatically pass judgment on something like that seems a little premature, and I don't think that a single condo building or even like several of the renovations that we've seen in downtown Aurora is really adding too much additional pressure on some of the housing stock that are.
It does not. Exactly.
Like, I think that it has the potential to, right? So it used to be that you could, you remember Leland Tower, right? The big one, the big tall one, right? You used to be able to rent those things for like bottom dollar because they're small, because it used to be a hotel.
Yeah. And
they were not super nice. Was anyone in one of those apartments back in like the early aughts? They were a little, but it was a valid housing option for pretty cheap with nice views. Right. And now they've been renovated. There you go, for a lot more money. Right. So did that take away from some of the housing stock, really inexpensive housing stock available in downtown Aurora? Yeah, arguably it probably did.
But was there ever a time when all Ecuadorian Americans were taken out of Leland, placed elsewhere, and their apartments given to
that I
folks?
don't I mean, I don't think it was filled with Ecuadorians.
You know what I mean?
But
did they take one group out and replace them?
Well, so what typically happens, right, is somebody moves out, and then they then at that point when someone's leasing, developers apartment right, and then sell it or rent it out again at a higher price. So over time, yes, you would see the building gentrify.
Sure.
But again, if we are talking about building a healthy community, you need a diversity of housing options at multiple.
And I
think that we still have that in Aurora, and I don't think that adding a new building upsets that balance.
I agree. I totally agree with that. Yeah.
In fact, I would say that the renovation of the Leland Tower is probably more of a pressure on the low income housing availability than building a new place. Would I have liked to see the city demand affordable housing units in the new condo building? Yes. That I would always love to see cities, especially when they're giving incentives, demand that a certain percentage of housing still be made available for people of moderate to low incomes, right? That should be like that's like your first bargaining chip, right? Is now, like, you want this money, put in a couple units that are going to stay rent controlled.
Now I'll also say that when that apartment building is built, hey, if you are a person of color and you go there you're squared away, you try to rent, and they pull the old "we're not open" thing on you or whatever, they do you like they did my mom back in the day, then you can bring that information to Good Morning Aurora, and we'd be happy to hear that story. But until then, it is not helpful to ask, why is there no development happening? And then get development, and then call it gentrification. That is not helping things.
Well,
the time is 8:59 a.m.
Yeah, I think we probably have two different philosophies sort of colliding, right, in the downtown about what downtown Aurora who's supposed to be there.
I don't think we do. I don't think we do. Two different philosophies.
No, not you and me.
No, I know.
The community.
The community.
I'm sure that there are multiple building owners and things like that who would love to see. Because here's the other divide that we've got is the renter owner divide, right? So because you bring in, you start raising property values, and if I own my building, well, I'm very excited about that because it means that my building is worth more and I can sell it for more at some other point in the future, right? Like, I own my home in the Near East Side of Aurora, and since I bought it in 2010, it's more than doubled in value, and I'm like, sweet, great. Like, so, but what that means is that other people who are trying to buy right now cannot buy for the rock bottom price of $56,000 that I bought my house for back in the day.
Right.
But as a property owner, I benefit. Now, as a renter, you really it's a different story, right? Because if I'm a property owner, I can raise the rents on my property, and then that out the renters who are already struggling, who may already be struggling, right? They had a whole bunch. They might not be renting in Aurora, they might be buying because it's so much cheaper to buy in this town, rent in most cases. So, I think that the most important thing when it comes to talking housing is talking about a comprehensive strategy that understands property owners who have the right to money on their stuff, right, and to preserve their property values, and also the rights of poor people and renters to exist. So,
so the time is 9:01 a.m. We got to get out of here. But I want to say thank you, all of you beautiful people at home. And not only that, we hope that you guys have a beautiful, wonderful Friday. Go out, have some fun for First Friday. Subscribe to the show on YouTube. We need YouTube subscribers. Also, subscribe to the show on Spotify. And
we don't need them. And we welcome them.
I want you to keep in mind, you guys, that remember our email address, goodmorningaurora@gmail.com. Send us your thoughts.
Check us out on the internet.
Yep. Send us your thoughts. Let us know what you think about any given topic, and we'd be happy to shout it out, highlight it, as long as it is good, clean, responsible, wholesome fun. This is a family show.
Or just a little bit raunchy, but not
Right, yeah, exactly. It doesn't have to be rated G,
right?
But it can't be rated R.
It's Aurora after all.
All right.
It's not Good Morning Naperville.
Yep. Support the show on Patreon, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, and Google Play. And we will see you guys here on Monday. We've got something special for you on Monday. I will tell you this. Stay tuned. Stay tuned for Monday. Monday's going to be really good. Norma says, hope everyone has a great and safe weekend. We concur with that. You guys, take care of yourself and each other.
Adios, Aurora.